Homebrew, Ohio offers a mead making kit.
And we got one.
We got one. Today, we're gonna open it.
Set up.
So here we have a mead making kit from Homebrew, Ohio.
This one's much smaller than the one from More Beer.
Yeah, this is a 1 gallon kit. Now we know how I feel about 5 gallons. All mead should come in 5 gallon batches.
See, now that's where we disagree. I think a 1 gallon's more manageable for a beginner. See what? A 5 gallon takes 20 pounds of honey at $100. This one's much easier on the pocketbook and better for experimentation.
Okay, so
Let's get started.
let's just dive right in. Not included, 2.5 pounds of honey.
What? It doesn't include honey?
Why not 3.5? It's kind of specific. Okay. Hey, do you have that knife deal you got again?
I do.
You always have that knife?
I do. There we go.
What's up?
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is a personalized letter to me. That's nice. I'll read that later. Okay. Oh, it's a 2 gallon bucket.
Oh, very cool.
It comes with a 1 gallon carboy and a 2 gallon bucket. You know why that's a wonderful thing?
What is that?
Minimize headspace on secondary. Make 2 gallons of mead or 1.5 gallons of mead. Transfer that into secondary. You can top it off all the way to the top.
And
Reduce risk of oxidation.
very nice.
Minimize headspace.
Got a lid.
It's kind of cute too, isn't it?
Got a hydrometer.
You know the first mead making kit, or the first home brewing kit I ever bought didn't include a hydrometer.
Oh yeah, it didn't?
It didn't.
What is this?
Racking cane maybe? Is it?
I think it is.
Yeah, racking cane. Now once again, since we're giving this away at the end of the video,
We're not gonna open it.
yeah, we're not going to open the glass shatterable things or the, hydrometer. This surgical tubing. Oh wow, it comes with all kinds of.
Looks like it has.
I'm opening this. This really does come with everything to make mead.
Wine tannin.
You got Campton tablets.
Oh yeah, very nice.
You gonna ask you what that's for?
I know what this is for, but
What's
why don't
it?
you tell everybody?
This is for stabilizing your mead.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to back sweeten, if you just add honey to your mead, it's just gonna start fermenting again. So you want to back sweeten it with Campton tablets and potassium sorbate. Do we have potassium sorbate in here? Let's look and see.
Good. You got malic acid.
Malic acid and tartaric acid.
So malic acid is really sour.
Do you know what this is for?
I don't.
You remember our video, How to Make Any Mead, where they talked about balancing sweetness?
Ah, so this takes out some of the sweetness.
Acid does a really good job of balancing sweetness. If you make a mead that you anticipate to be too sweet, you can add malic acid or tartaric acid, and they'll kind of balance that out. I dropped that bung on my toe.
Wow, this really does come with. Look.
Oh, dude, look.
A yeast energizer.
Yeah, wonderful. Look, a sticky thermometer. Stick
So you
this
can
on
put
your
on the
carboy
carboy?
or your bucket. You don't have to dip a thermometer in there. Do you hear that?
Do you have a mouse?
I don't know what that is. We're shooting a video. Hey, we're gonna stop for a second, find out what that is. Tell them to. Okay. Back to it. And then airlock. So we have wine tannin, easy clean, and no rinse sanitizer.
Nutrient booster.
Oh, yeast energizer.
Yeah.
That's nutrients.
Yeah.
That's DAP. DAP. A little pack of yeast. This literally is everything you need
Everything
to make
you
yeast,
need.
except for the honey.
Yep.
It's very clearly stated on the box. Doesn't contain 2.5 pounds of honey.
Where?
I've got a bag of wine tannin in the cabinet over there. I've used it one time.
Yeah.
I find oak a much better source of tannins than tannin powder.
Yeah.
But somebody else might like this.
So why don't you tell them what we're doing with this?
Okay, it comes with a recipe sheet. Let's critique this recipe a little bit.
Oh.
Wait, did you look at everything else yet?
Yeah, we looked at
before we
everything.
get into that, this literally is everything to make mead. You have your primary fermentation, your racking cane to rack it into secondary. You have an extra sheet of bubble wrap, your bung, your airlock.
The gravity reading?
Do you remember the first video we did? You had no idea what any of this was for.
I know, right?
Now you're all over it. Your surgical tubing and all kinds of magical powders. You got Canton for stabilizing. Now typically when you stabilize, you add Canton and potassium sorbate. This doesn't seem to contain potassium sorbate. But you can buy that for $1 or $2, no big deal.
And yeast.
Comes with a pack of yeast. I'd rather have Y yeast, but
That works. So all you need is honey and this kit.
I've never used this before. I might. Oh no, we didn't give balls away. And your magic powders. You got wine tannin. You got DAP, tartaric acid, malic acid. It would be nice to have some Firmade O and some Go Firm, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know.
Right.
And you have your no rinse sanitizer. Once again, I'd rather have Star San, but I'm sure this works just fine.
And a recipe to get you started. As you're watching our videos, you don't need this.
Let's critique our recipe. Dry mead recipe. 2.5 pounds of honey. 7 pits. Pits? What's that mean? Oh, pints. 7 pints of water. 3 tisp of malic acid. 1.5 tisp of tartaric acid. 1/4 tisp of tannin. 3/4 tisp of energizer. 1 Canton tablet crushed, and 1 package of Premier Blanc yeast. This contains all of that, except for the honey and the water. Okay, in primary, dissolve honey in the warm water with acids and tannins. Add the ingredients except yeast. Place lid in airlock. After 24 hours, add yeast. Oh, because they want to put the Canton in there beforehand. Don't you want to ask me why?
Why?
Some people, it's not really necessary. Some people like to be doubly sure there's no bacteria or other microbes in their must. So they'll put the honey in there and the water, they'll shake it up, and they'll add the Canton, and that will kill or subdue any other microbes. So you know 100% sure that you're fermenting in a sterile environment. And then you pitch your yeast. It's I don't like doing that, but it is a way to make sure that you're not going to have any sort of infections or anything like that. Okay, so after 24 hours, add yeast. Stir daily, check specific gravity. When it reaches 10:30, after 5 to 7 days, siphon the mead. It says wine. Siphon the mead off of the sediment into the glass secondary fermenter. Attach airlock when fermentation is complete. Siphon off sediment into clean secondary. Reattach airlock to 8. This wants you to rack it in the middle of fermentation? Am I reading that right? When ferment reaches specific gravity of 1.030, siphon the mead. It says wine. Siphon the wine, mead, off of the sediment into the glass secondary fermenter. Attach airlock. When fermentation is complete, SG is dropped to 1.000 after 3 weeks. That is weird.
That is kind of weird. I've never heard of it doing that way before.
I racked a mead into secondary while fermentation was still going once, and it stalled out my ferment. I wonder why they had you do this. That's a bit weird, but it is ill-advised to rack during an active fermentation, and this is not a practice that I recommend. Racking during an active fermentation can sometimes stall the fermentation. which may or may not be a bad thing. But a stalled fermentation can sometimes spontaneously restart. Unfortunately, this spontaneous restart can occur in your sealed bottles, creating the infamous bottle bombs. And then bottle when it's all said and done. That is definitely a very strange way of making mead. But
they don't need this. They watch our videos.
Yes. I prefer my own recipes. But this isn't bad, I suppose. It's just a different way.
It's a getting started.
In the mead making world, it's very, very important to always remember there is no wrong way of making mead.
As long as it turns out.
As long as it turns out good. So if you follow this recipe and make a good mead that you enjoy drinking,
that's all that matters.
Then this is a good recipe. Fermenting is where the magic happens.
Yeah, I love their explanation.
Homebrew, Ohio recommends a 2-gallon bucket. I'm reading the...
I know, but I wanted to explain to them. So they have a little description of the whole thing, but then break it down in different sections. To cleansing, fermenting, secondary fermentation, and bottling.
Oh yeah, it kind of describes our... It's the same process we promoted in our Any Mead video. Fermenting is where magic happens. Homebrew, Ohio recommends using a 2-gallon bucket for primary fermentation. I also recommend this practice. You want to have more in primary than you do in secondary, so you can minimize headspace in secondary as much as you can. Secondary fermentation is mainly for aging and clarifying rather than fermentation. But you already knew that, didn't you? And bottling should occur when the mead has clarified complete. I can't talk my own talk right now. Okay.
What's it got in the back?
Inventory.
Oh, this is a breakdown of everything they have in the box.
Granted, we could have done this whole video just off of this. Okay, so there we have it. A complete mead making package for 1-gallon batches.
It's a perfect starter kit for any beginner.
I would say this is a perfect starter
I
kit.
would absolutely say this is a perfect starter
kit. I would go as far to say this is probably the best starter kit I've seen.
I would have to agree.
I would make a few changes. I'd rather have Star Sand and Easy Clean.
But that's a good starting,
It works. It'll get the job done. And I do wish there was potassium sorbate to go along with the Campden. And yeah, there you go. How to make mead in 1-gallon batches. I definitely recommend this. And even better, for a limited time, they're on sale for 10% off.
10%?
10% off. So that's $35.99 minus 10%.
And if you use the promotion code down below, you get even more?
No.
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
What's the coupon code for this?
No, if they use the kit, I don't know. I was thinking maybe they used the URL. Didn't they get a discount that way too?
No, that's just a 10% off thing.
Oh, okay.
It's
well, they cut that part out.
Now, probably the only reason most of you have been watching this. We're going to repackage all of this. And we're going to send it to one of you, our viewers. Just like the last giveaway, subscribe to the channel and comment in the description below. On a specific date, we'll choose one commenter and we'll send all of this your way. And we will ship worldwide this time. We won't just restrict it to America, to the United States of America. Well, what is the date we're going to choose the winner? I'll have to look that up, but I'll put it in text on screen, right here, or maybe here, somewhere on screen will be the date. Thank you for watching Mead with Eric and Derek. We hope you have as much fun watching as we had making this.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified each time we upload.
And join the Discord, where more than 1,000 mead makers are always there to help you make better mead.
See you next time.